fake Twitter post with an asteroid that went in the Baltic Sea off the coast of Germany. But it is time to put the hard hat back on. Got the hard hat out of the closet, and it's time to put it on even though it's a little late. Should have kept it on the whole time. Back in November, an asteroid did hit Earth. Our planetary defense system should be probably looking for aliens, but a rock is as good as an alien in my mind. Escaped all our detection until 3.5 hours before impact, where a 3-foot rock came shooting down, lit up the sky in South Ontario, Canada, probably broke up some more, and luckily landed in the North Atlantic Ocean. Pretty darn lucky. So we've got all this cool stuff to look for all kinds of things. Planetary defense, we're supposed to be checking for rocks that don't run into Earth and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what NASA's doing. Maybe they're using one of those things to put a quarter in, but everybody missed it. And then they found it with just a few moments to spare, and here we are. So no, wasn't an Armageddon-like thing, but this stuff is pretty scary. And it leads us to our next thing, that we're even throwing trash down on Earth all on our own. We've talked about this before, but China did something cool, but it was a year ago, last January. Guess we found out that they've got a trash truck in space that's going around, uses kind of like a grappling hook, grabs old satellites, and puts them and throws them back to Earth, kind of like a baseball. Nah, it's not really like a baseball. They just put it in degrading orbit so that stuff burns up upon re-entry. But yes, this is really happening. Space sweepers is real. Trash in space is very real, and they're doing something about it on their end. I wonder what we're doing. Are we going up and using a waste management truck, throwing stuff in the back, bringing it back? Doubtful. We're probably just throwing it back to Earth too. So anyway, stay out of the North Atlantic. It's the best advice I got right now. Virgin Orbit hasn't had the greatest luck, even though it seems like it's a simpler process to actually have like a big airplane, carry a launch pod, take it up to altitude, where the hardest part is to get to those kinds of altitudes with a rocket. And then the rocket launches and takes satellites up in the sky. But in January, an error in the second stage, which is the second part of that launch system, failed. And the whole thing broke apart, lost all the satellites, and came tumbling back to Earth. Luckily, once again, all that stuff fell in the ocean. I'm kind of a boater, but I'm thinking boating in the North Atlantic is not a good idea. So anyway, this is the second such failure that they've had. And in typical Branson fashion, the media is, hey, they learned a lot, they're doing great things, and that's all part of it. And part of what the Commercial Space Organization at the FAA is supposed to do is make sure that when that stuff goes up, during those risky parts of it, if it breaks apart and comes back down, there's nobody in the way. So I gotta say, I think we're doing a pretty good job because nothing's come back down on us. I'm still wearing the hard hat though. Better safe than sorry. Asteroids, pretty scary stuff. But what's going through TSA and the security checkpoint might even be scarier. And a hard hat is not gonna help you. So a lady in Tampa decided to bring a boa constrictor in her carry-on bag through security. So it shows up on the monitor. TSA agent, that's probably not cool, but they don't have any authority. It was a emotional support animal. It'd be an emotional support reptile, but they don't have the authority to tell them no. But American Airlines, thank goodness, did tell the passenger, no, you cannot bring a boa constrictor on an airplane. And if you want to know why, you just have to go watch Snakes on a Plane. Scary movie, Snakes on a Plane. So anyway, but that got me thinking, what else has TSA been looking for, and how good did they do in 22? So obviously a boa constrictor actually did make the top 10 catches by TSA in 22. But they had some other weird stuff, like fentanyl candy wrappers found in LA, a gun inside a raw chicken at Fort Lauderdale. I don't know what, it'd be weird. I mean, that's kind of weird walking through with a raw chicken. Handguns found in jars of peanut butter. That seems like a cleaning problem when you're done anyway. A gun in an arm sling at Rochester Airport. That done, you know, that seems like just trying to be sneaky. Knife in a laptop, drugs found in scrunchies, guns inside a PlayStation, bringing through Atlanta, and yeah, I guess kids are really hooked to their PlayStations that maybe they want to bring them around. But hey, could have been one of those esports things, you know. So that's kind of interesting. A cattle prod in a guitar case. If you need your cattle prod, maybe that's a personal item that you kind of need. I don't know. An inert grenade at Milwaukee. That's super scary. And money, which was TSA's 10th coolest thing that they found in crutches at the El Paso airport. So, hey, that's TSA's top 10. If they're finding this kind of stuff, more power to them. They're doing a pretty darn good job. Hey, look. Before I go to the next subject, I want you to get a hard hat. They are really cheap at Home Depot. And if you like what I'm doing, like and subscribe. You know how to do it. So, back to where we were. It talked about TSA doing a good job. But speaking of jobs, we all probably remember our first day on a job. But how'd you like to be first day as a flight attendant with British Airways? Super cool, great locations, living the dream. Living the dream. Except this flight attendant accidentally touched something on the door while the aircraft was still on the ground on the way out. It had not departed yet, but it was in movement, touched something on the door and activated the emergency slide. Oh, that probably caused a problem. That's day one. Don't know if they have their job or not, but it was no real emergency, just activated the slide. It cost British Airways 50,000 pounds and some time, but everybody actually within a few hours got to their destination, and they have one of the coolest stories to tell. We'll see you next time. Slide. Shit, what was I trying to say? Really goofed up. Oh, shit.